Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bill Hamilton, country boy from Old Hickory, Tennessee, coming back to you on how to pay off your mortgage early, part 2. How to pay off your mortgage early, part 2. First, I want to review some lessons learned from part 1. 1. Amortization. That's a word that we learned in part 1. Amortization schedule. What is it? Your amortization schedule is a schedule that shows your monthly payment on your mortgage and the breakout between principal and interest each month of the period of your mortgage. If it is 30 years, month 1 all the way through month 360 each month, and it shows out the breakout between principal and interest. 1.5 lessons learned. If you prepay the principal, the interest is canceled. If you prepay the principal, the interest is canceled. Lessons learned 2. By paying the principal due next month, with this month's on-time payment, you will automatically eliminate next month's interest. This also applies to multiple months and fractions of a month. By paying next month's principal along with this month's payment, you will eliminate next month's interest. That applies to multiple months and fractions of a month. Example. We showed you that if we paid $313, the principal due in month number 2, along with this month's $1,312 payment, we showed you that we would eliminate the interest due for next month, which is $999. We eliminated $999 in interest simply by paying $313 this month along with this month's payment. We also showed, for an example, that if we prepaid not only next month's principal, but the following month's principal, month 2 and month 3, for a grand total of $625, we showed that we would eliminate the interest due for months 2 and months 3 for a grand total of $1,997. Also, we showed that at the same time, we reduced the total period of the mortgage from 30 years, 360 months, to 359 months and 358 months, respectively, whether we were paying for 1 month the $313 or the 2 months the $625. Thirdly, lessons learned. I ask you to please go to bankrate.com and put in these figures. $250,000 mortgage, 4.8%, 30 years. And it will spit out for you the numbers that I'm giving you right now, the $1,312 per month monthly payment. But also I want you to put in your mortgage and do the very same thing that we are doing here. Put in a one-time payment and see how much that will reduce your total interest cost, or put in a monthly payment and likewise see what that will do for your total cost of your mortgage as well as the total term. And then number 4, we added $640 a month because we calculated that by adding $640 to each monthly payment of $1,312, that would reduce our mortgage from a 30-year mortgage, and it would be paid off in 180 months, which is 15 years, simply by adding $640 per month to the $1,312 monthly payment due. Ladies and gentlemen, we showed that it saved us $121,064 in interest. What we did was reduce the total cost of that house, which was initially, we were going to pay a total of $472,199 for this house. By paying that $640 every month, additionally, we reduced the interest by $121,064. And we reduced the total cost that we are paying for that house from $472,199 to $351,135. And we reduced the period from 30 years to 15 years. Lessons learned number 5. Your mortgage must have a no prepayment penalty clause. Almost all mortgages do. But check your mortgage, call your mortgage company, make sure that your mortgage has a no prepayment penalty clause, which means they will not penalize you for prepaying the principal. Most mortgages have that. Check to see whether or not yours likewise has that. Also, the mortgage payment is due every month. Just because I indicated that we would get rid of next month's interest and the following month's interest and so forth, your mortgage payment is still due every month. Okay, the savings comes off the tail end, as I indicated earlier. That's where the savings takes place. You follow me here? We are reducing the period of the mortgage as well as the total interest paid. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are the lessons learned from part 1 of how to pay off your mortgage early. So now here we are. We're ready. I said to you up front, are you interested in becoming a millionaire? I said to you, I have a 100% guaranteed program for you to either become a millionaire or at the very least add commas to your net worth. So now here we are, ready to go. Are you ready to run with me? Okay, 15 years. Our neighbor is paying $1,312 a month on that $250,000 mortgage, just like we took out at the same time, 4.8%, but he continued to pay $1,312, the minimum. We didn't do that, as you well know. Oh, no. We paid the $640 additionally for a grand total of $1,952, ladies and gentlemen. So at the end of 15 years, our mortgage is paid off. So here we are. It's 15 years. Our house paid off. What do we do now? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to buy another house identical to ours, maybe right down the block, with another $250,000 mortgage on it. And for this demonstration and example, inflation is 0. Okay, so you stay with me right now. Another house identical to ours. $250,000 mortgage. It is now 15 years and 1 month. We've got one house, house number 1, paid for. As I just said, house number 2 that we just purchased is now a rental house. It is an income producing property, ladies and gentlemen. So what do? That $1,952 that we've been paying on our house for the past 15 years, that is now paid off. We now begin to pay that on house number 2, as well as the rental income that we're receiving from house number 2. We pay that also against the principal, prepaying that principal early. What takes place? Since we've got 2 incomes, ladies and gentlemen, 2 major mortgages paying against that principal, we then pay off that house in not 15 years as we did our original house, but we pay it off in half that time, in 7.5 years. Here we are, baby, 7.5 years later. 22.5 years from the start time, okay? Here we are, you stay with me right now. We're getting ready to make you a millionaire because now you have one house that's paid for, you have 2 houses that are fully paid for. So what do you do right now? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we buy rent house 3, 4, 5, and 6. Why can we buy 4 more rental houses, $250,000 mortgages, the same as because we can buy 2 houses for every one that's already paid for and sustain that mortgage, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what we do. So we now have 6 houses. 5 of them are income producing houses, $250,000 mortgage, ladies and gentlemen. 2 of them are already paid off. What are you talking about up in here? I've got 5 rental incomes coming into you every month. Ladies and gentlemen, with 6 $250,000 houses to pay for the 4 more generating rental income. You are now a millionaire. Ladies and gentlemen, and please note that it is 22.5 years from now. Please note that your neighbor still has 7.5 years to pay on his initial house for his one house, for his one mortgage, $1,312 a month. He still has 7.5 more years to pay for that. And you are sitting on 6 houses, ladies and gentlemen, with 5 of them being income producing, all 6 being income producing if you decide that you want to move to the old money part of town, living in the historic district. Now, ladies and gentlemen, he's riding around in a brand new Toyota that he's traded for about the 6th, 7th, or 8th consecutive time after 3 or 4 years. You are riding in your Bentley, your Rolls Royce, your Ferrari, millionaire, living in the historic district on the old money side of town. Not because you worked any harder, you didn't change jobs, you didn't get a major promotion, but you made wiser choices. You decided that you were going to pay that $640 additionally on your mortgage. Where'd you get it from? Well, you didn't get a new car as often as your neighbor got his new car. You didn't go out to eat as often as your neighbor decided to go out to eat. You didn't pay the lottery like your neighbor decided to play the lottery. You didn't go to the casino as often as your neighbor decided to go to the casino. But now, your neighbor has 7.5 years left to pay at $1,312 a month on his one house. You've got 6. You're a millionaire. Living a lifestyle that you've always dreamed for your spouse and your family. Somebody ought to say something up in here. This is Bill Hamilton, ladies and gentlemen, country boy from Old Hickory, Tennessee. Just showed you how to become a millionaire. Take it to the bridge, son. Take it to the bridge.